We're elevating clam chowder using the French Laundry's recipe, and we're breaking down their Michelin techniques so you can make this dish at home. Since the majority of Alaskan cod is frozen, you'll want to dry this well before cutting. You will need at least 1.5 pounds of cod. Start by removing the belly. This will allow you to have a nice thick piece. Starting from the head, make single stroke slices to cut 3-ounce portions. In total, you'll need 6 servings. Set them on a paper towel to soak up any extra moisture and store in the fridge. The trimmings get diced up and set off to the side. You'll need 7 ounces. For the cod cake, thinly slice 1 shallot and crush 2 cloves of garlic. To a pot, add 4 ounces of white wine, the shallots, garlic, 3 sprigs of thyme, and 6 peppercorns. The link for the full recipe is in the description. Bring this to a boil, then add in the cod trim and turn down the heat so it's just at a simmer. Steam this for 5 minutes or until the fish flakes apart. Remove the fish from the pot and discard the cuisson, which is French for cooking liquid. Place the cod trim into a bowl with cooked potatoes, breaking them apart with a fork until evenly mixed. The French call this mixture brandade. To cook the potatoes, peel 6 ounces of Yukon Gold, then medium dice the potatoes, covering them with cold water by 2 inches and cooking until tender. To the brandade, add 6 grams of kosher salt, 1 ounce butter, 12 grams of olive oil, 4 grams of finely minced garlic, 12 grams brunoise, 2 grams of finely minced parsley, and mix. To make the brunoise, peel a carrot, then, using a mando, slice as thin as possible while keeping the slices whole.
This is the way.
Cut the carrot into thin julienne strips, rotate, then cut into a fine brunoise. Do the same process to a turnip, then take the dark green leaves of a leek, cut them into julienne strips, then cut into a brunoise. Bring a pot of water to a boil, and for every gallon of water, add a cup of salt. Blanch each vegetable individually in a strainer. Then, once tender, remove from the water and shock in an ice bath. Lay the vegetables onto a paper towel to remove all the extra moisture. Then, transfer to a smaller container. This mixture is what the French Laundry refers to as brunoise, which is also the name of the cut. I did 20 grams of carrot and turnip each with 10 grams of leek. Wipe the counter. This will allow the plastic wrap to stick better to your counter. Then roll out a 14-inch piece of plastic wrap. Place the cod cake mixture down, spreading it out evenly in a log shape. Use the plastic wrap to help shape the log. Using the counter, continue to tighten the log, then tie off one of the ends. As I rolled, I had a blowout after blowout after blowout until I realized that commercial plastic wrap is most likely thicker, and the key is to not spread out the brandade mixture too much. Continue to roll out until it's 2 inches wide and tie off the other end. Place this in a cup to keep the shape and keep in the freezer for 4 hours until completely frozen. For the clams, use a new green scrubby to clean 6 little neck clams by giving them a little scrub. Change out the water, then add some salt and purge them for 2 hours, changing the water out halfway. Place the clams into a small pot with 2 ounces of dry white wine, 1 small garlic clove, half a shallot, 1 sprig of thyme, and 1 small bay leaf. When I cook with wine, I like to use something inexpensive that I also enjoy drinking. When you cook with, then pair the same wine with a dish, it's called echoing. Cover the pot with a lid, then bring to a boil. As the clams begin to open, remove them from the pot, strain out the cooking liquid, then reduce to a glaze, about 2 to 3 ounces. Add in 8 ounces of cream and slowly reduce by 50 to 60%. An easy trick is to mark where the liquid starts and where it should be when it's reduced. The clam sauce should have a sauce consistency, but taste it as it reduces to make sure it doesn't become salty. Use a spoon to remove the clam meat from the shells, then make sure that the 2 chewy abductor muscles are removed. PK leaves the clams whole, but I decided to cut them up to have more than just 1 bite of clam. For the chowder, use a peeler to remove all the fibers on 1 stalk of celery. Slice the celery on a bias at 1/16 of an inch thick, which is as thin as you can slice it while still keeping it a whole piece. Blanch the celery until tender, about 15 seconds. Then shock in an ice bath and reserve off to the side. Peel one medium-sized Yukon potato, then remove one side so that it lays flat, and cut 1/4 inch planks. Place the planks in stack of 2. Trim off the curved end and cut 1/4 inch strips. Rotate, trim the ends, and cut the potatoes into 1/4 inch dice. Place the potatoes in a bowl of water as you cut to prevent them from oxidizing. Add your potatoes to a pot and cover with cold water. Season with salt and slowly bring to a simmer. When they are just tender, strain and let them cool at room temperature on a tray. For the beurre monté, add a splash of cream to a pot and bring to a simmer. Drop the heat to low, then mix in 3 ounces of cold cubed butter a little at a time and store off to the side. For the parsley oil, pick 4 cups of flat leaf parsley or 2 bunches, being sure to save some of the parsley for a fine mince. The stems can be saved in the freezer and used later for making stocks. Blanch the parsley leaves until they turn dark green, about 15 seconds, then shock in an ice bath. Once the parsley is cooled, it is important to squeeze out all the water from the leaves. They should look nice and dry. Then place the parsley leaves into a blender with 6 ounces of neutral flavored oil and blend until smooth. If you are using a smaller blender, be sure to do it in 2 batches to prevent the oil from heating up, which will start to turn the oil brown. For the strongest flavor, let it marinate in the fridge for 24 hours, but it's still good right away. Drain the oil through a sieve, and I like to place in a linen-like to filter through, linked in the description. Any extra oil can be stored in the freezer. To cook the cod cakes, take them out of the freezer and remove the plastic wrap. Heat up your knife in some water, then wipe away the extra moisture and slice. Slice the cakes into 6 even pieces. Then let the cod cakes sit at room temperature for 15 minutes. Dredge the cakes in some all-purpose flour, then pat off any extra flour. Heat a pan over medium heat with some neutral oil and cook the cod cakes until they are GBD, golden brown and delicious, about 90 seconds. Flip and cook on the other side until GBD. Place the cakes onto a tray and place them into a 200 degrees Fahrenheit, 93 degrees Celsius oven. For the cod, season with salt and white pepper on both sides. Heat a sauté pan on medium heat and coat the bottom in a neutral oil. Lay the fish away from you so you don't splash hot oil on yourself. Presentation side down first. Cook them until they are GBD, about 3 minutes. Flip the fish away from you and continue to cook until the fish is cooked through. The best way to know if your fish is cooked is to insert a cake tester, which should easily insert. I'll have a link for these in the description. To a small pot, add the beurre monté, potatoes, clams, celery, brunoise, parsley, and heat on medium heat until warm. Rewarm the clam sauce and add a splash of cream if it begins to get too salty. To plate, pipe a ring of parsley oil and add the clam sauce to the center. Top with a cod cake and then garnish with the chowder. Then add the sauteed cod on top of the cod cake. This sauce tastes just like clam chowder and pairs very well with cod. Also, highly suggest that you cook with the same wine that you drink. Takes the dish to another level. If you enjoy these videos and want to support the channel, I have a link with details on our new channel membership in the description. Watch this video next to see the French Laundry's $4 Agnolotti.